Hi, this video is for Wednesday, April 15th for Algebra 2. We're going to review writing equations of parallel lines. So if you recall, before spring break, we practiced writing equations of lines when you're given a point and the slope, and we had to use y equals mx plus b. Okay, so I don't know if you remember that or not, but we're going to be using this equation again today, y equals mx plus b. But we're going to write equations of parallel lines. Now, parallel lines look like railroad tracks or like this. And parallel lines have the same slope and they never cross. So that means they also have different y-intercepts. So same slopes, the m value will be the same in these equations, but the b value will be different. Okay, so here's an example. Alright, so 2x minus 7 and 2x plus 4, those equations are parallel lines because, as you notice, the number in front of x, those are both 2's. So that means their slopes are the same, 2. But their y-intercepts are different. This one is -7 and that one is 4. But they're still considered parallel because their slopes are the same, their y-intercepts are different. Alright, so I'm going to read this directly from your notes now. If you are given an equation of a line like y equals 1/2 x minus 4, and you are told to find the equation of a line that is parallel to that passes through a given point, we would have to use the ideas we learned last week, like I was telling you. Y equals mx plus b. We're going to have to plug in the value for x and y based on the point that you're given, and plug in the m from the equation of the line because the slopes are the same, and we're going to solve it for b. And then we will rewrite the equation. Okay, so I know that was a lot to take in. I'm going to show you. Alright, example 1 says, find the equation of the line that is parallel to y equals -3x plus 8 and passes through the point -1, 4. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is write down y equals mx plus b. Now, I know their slopes have to be the same because they're parallel lines. So the slope here was -3. So right here for m, I'm going to put a -3. Okay, the x of my point is -1. The y of my point is 4. And I'm trying to solve it for b. Okay, so I'm going to say that again. Parallel lines have the same slope. So I took -3, our slope from this line, and plugged it in for m. Okay, x is the x of our point, -1. 4 is the y of our point. I plugged it in for y. And now we're going to do some algebra and solve it for b. Okay, so -3 times -1 is 3. And now we're going to subtract subtract 3 from 4. So 1 equals b. Okay, so I know the y-intercept here is 1. And I know the slope has to be -3 because they're parallel lines. So the final answer, your equation of your line, is y equals -3x plus 1. Like that. Okay. So hopefully the part of plugging in x and y seems familiar from last week, and solving for b hopefully seems familiar from last week. The only somewhat new idea, even though we learned this before back in August or September, is that parallel lines have the same slope. Okay. Alright, example 2 says, find the equation of the line that is parallel to the line y equals 1/2 x plus 9 and passes through 8, 1. Okay? so what is the slope of this line? Well, the slope is 1/2, and we have x is 8 and y is 1. Okay, so in our equation, y equals mx plus b. We're going to have y is the y of our point, so 1. M is the slope from this line because they're parallel lines, so 1/2. X is the x of our point, so 8 plus b. So 1/2 times 8. You can think of this as also 8 divided by 2. Okay, so 8 divided by 2 is 4. And now we have to subtract 4 from 1. So -3 equals b. Okay, and our slope was 1/2. So the equation of our line is going to be y equals 1/2 x minus 3. Like that. Okay, so I hope that's seeming okay so far. The next two examples are going to be slightly different because the slope is either going to be 0 or it's going to be undefined. And so that means we're going to have equations that are either y equals a number or x equals a number. Okay, so they're going to be slightly different than these two. I hope that these two were okay. And if not, you can always email me and ask me for help. Alright, so example 3 says, find the equation of the line that is parallel to the line y equals 2 and passes through 4, -2. Okay, I'm going to let you in on something special about this. Whenever you have y equals 2 and you want something parallel to that, you're going to write y equals the y of your point. Okay, so our equation is going to be y equals -2, and I'm going to draw you a picture now to show you why that is. So our original equation here is y equals 2. So if you think about your coordinate grid, I know that's slanted, but deal with it. Okay, so y equals 2 is a horizontal line that passes through the point 0, 2. Okay, so if I wanted a line parallel to this, sorry, I thought I was going to sneeze. If I wanted a line parallel to this, it would also have to be a horizontal line. And I know that this has to pass through the point 4, -2. Okay, I know the point 4, -2 is right here. And it has to pass through that point and also be horizontal. So if it has to pass through that point and also be horizontal, that would look something like this. And as you can see, that passes through the point 0, -2. And y is always going to be -2 on this line, no matter what you pick for x. So that is why the equation is y equals -2, which is the y value of our point. So if they're parallel lines and it's y equals a number, you just write y equals the y of your point. Okay? Now, the same idea can be applied for x. If you're looking for parallel lines and it says x equals a number, you're going to write x equals the x of your point. So we're going to look at that on example 4. Alright, so example 4, the last example says, find the equation of the line that is parallel to x equals -2 and passes through 6, -1. Okay, so x equals -2 is over here, and it's a vertical line that passes through x equals -2. Now, I know our other line has to pass through 6, -1. And I know to be parallel to this one, it's also going to have to be vertical, straight up and down. So if that happens, it's going to look something like this. And the equation of this line would be x equals 6, which is the x value of our point. So you can just write x equals 6. Okay, so that's it. Alright, so I'm going to post this video, these notes, in a Google form to Google Classroom. So your assignment for the day is to do the Google form. Okay, so you're going to write equations of lines that are parallel to the given one. And if you need any help, let me know. I will be happy to help you. Okay, so keep up the good work. I hope that you had a nice spring break and a happy Easter. And I miss you, and I hope that we can see each other soon. Bye.